Hello students, welcome to your data communication and computer network video class. In this video, I will discuss about TCP/IP protocol suite. In the previous video class, I have discussed about OSI reference model. After completion of this video class, student will able to know about TCP/IP model, layer of OSI and TCP/IP model, protocol used in TCP/IP model, and function of each layer of TCP/IP, and the difference between OSI model and TCP/IP model. So let's start. The TCP/IP model was developed prior to the OSI model. So the TCP/IP model is not exactly similar to the OSI model. As we know, OSI model has 7 layers, but in case of TCP/IP model, it consists of 4 layers: application layer, transport layer, network layer, and network access layer. In some book, it has written as 5 layer. Means the network access layer is divided into data link layer and physical layer. The first 4 layers provide the physical standard network interface, internetworking, and transport function that correspond to the first 4 layers of OSI model. Means the first 4 layers of OSI model, the application layer, presentation layer, session layer, and transport layer, is same as in TCP/IP. But the first 3 layers, presentation layer, application layer, and session layer, are combined to application layer. So as we know, the OSI reference model had 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. The upper 3 layer, the application, presentation, and session, these 3 layer is combined as application layer in TCP/IP. Means in application layer, all the functionality of these 3 layer are performed in this application layer in TCP/IP model. Then transport layer is same as transport layer. Network layer is also in TCP/IP and it is also known as internet layer. And the data link layer and physical layer are combined to network interface layer or network access layer. So this is a 4-layer architecture of TCP/IP model. Actually, we can write also TCP/IP with 5 layer. We have to divide the network interface layer into data link layer and physical layer. So OSI model has 7 layer and TCP/IP has 4 layer: application layer, transport layer, network layer, and network interface layer. We know that each layer performs some function, and in TCP/IP model, each layer have different protocol and they perform the functions of that layer. Like the application layer have SMTP protocol, FTP, Telnet, DNS, SNMP, RPC, and TFTP protocol. And transport layer have TCP and UDP protocol. The network layer have ICMP, IP, and ARP protocol. Okay, so these are some protocol work in TCP/IP model. So now let us discuss about all the functions of each layer. First is network access layer. A network access layer is the lowest layer of the TCP/IP model. The network layer is the combination of physical layer and data link layer defined in OSI reference model. Means the lower layer known as network access layer in TCP/IP, it consists of physical layer and data link layer, defined in OSI model. It defines how the data should be sent physically through the network. Okay, this layer defines how the data should be sent, what will be the topology, what will be the transmission medium. This layer is mainly responsible for the transmission of data between two devices on the same network. The function carried out by this layer are encapsulating the IP datagram into frames, transmitting by the network and mapping of IP address into physical address. Means in this layer the IP address convert into the physical address. Okay, and the protocol used in this layer are Ethernet, token ring, X.25 and frame relay. Then internet layer. An internet layer is the second layer of TCP/IP model. An internet layer is also known as network layer. The main responsibility of the internet layer is to send the packet from any network and they arrive at the destination irrespective of the route they take. Means in this layer, the main responsibility is to send the packet from any network to other type of network irrespective of that route. The packet may move in different route and there are many protocol used in internet layer like IP protocol, maybe IPv4 or IPv6. The internet protocol is used in this layer and it is most significant part of TCP/IP. Following are the responsibility of this protocol. First is IP addressing. This protocol implement logical host addressing known as IP address. The IP addressing are used by internet and the higher layer to identify the device and to provide the internetworking routing. Means all the machines connected to the network have an IP address and this layer implement the logical host addressing, that is IP addressing, to use by the higher layer to identify the routing path. Okay, and host to host communication, it determines the path through which the data is to be transmitted. So after getting the IP address, it determines the path through which the data will travel to the host. Okay, then data encapsulation and formatting. An IP protocol accepts the data from transport layer, from the higher layer of internet layer, that is transport layer. An IP protocol ensures that data is sent and received securely. It encapsulates the data into message known as IP datagrams. Means the internet layer accepts the data from transport layer and to send the data securely, it encapsulates the data and it is known as datagram, IP datagram. Then the next is fragmentation and reassembly. The limit imposed on the size of the IP datagram by data link layer protocol is known as maximum transmission unit. Means the length of the datagram is decided by the data link layer, that is MTU, maximum transmission unit, and if the size of the IP datagram is greater than the MTU, then the IP protocol split the datagram into smaller unit so that they can travel over the local network. But the fragmentation can be done by the sender or intermediate router. At the receiver side, all the fragments are reassembled. Okay, all the fragmentation of the datagram are reassembled to form the original message at the receiver side. So in internet layer, the fragmentation and reassembled are done. Then routing. When IP datagram is sent over the same local network such as LAN, MAN and WAN, it is known as direct delivery. When source and destination are at the distance network, then the IP datagram is sent indirectly. This can be accomplished by routing the IP datagram through various devices such as router. Means it can be in the same network, the data can travel in the same network, or it can travel in the another network. That is, the data can send to the another network through various networking device like router. Okay. The next protocol of internet layer is ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. ARP is a network layer protocol which is used to find the physical address from the IP address. The two terms are mainly associated with the ARP protocol is ARP request and ARP reply. ARP request means when a sender wants to know the physical address of that device, it broadcasts the ARP request to the network. Means the sender broadcasts to all the other devices connected to the network. All the devices get the request, and every device attached to the network will accept the ARP request and process the request. But only the recipient recognize the IP address and send back the physical address in form of ARP reply to the sender. Okay, means first of all it sent the request, okay, to all of the devices attached at the network, and then the particular recipient recognize it and it sent his IP address as ARP reply. Then the next protocol is ICMP protocol. ICMP stands for Internet Control Message Protocol. It is a mechanism used by the host or router to send notification regarding datagram problem back to the sender. Means there is a mechanism in this protocol that it notify if the datagram has some problem. A datagram travels from router to router until it reaches its destination. If a router is unable to route the data because of some unusual condition such as disabled link, a device is on fire, or network congestion, means if the data cannot travel, okay, if the router fail to forward the data, then the ICMP protocol is used to inform the sender that the datagram is undeliverable. Okay. So ICMP protocol can send notification regarding the undeliverable datagram. It mainly uses two terms, ICMP test and ICMP reply. ICMP test is used to test whether the destination is reachable or not, and ICMP reply is used to check whether the destination device is responding or not. Okay, first test is if it tests whether the destination is reachable or not, and the ICMP reply is for the destination device is responding or not. Okay. The core responsibility of ICMP protocol is to report the problem, not to correct them. Means this protocol only report the problem. Means if the packet is not delivered, it will inform the sender. Okay. ICMP can send the message only to the source but not to the intermediate router, because the IP datagram carries the address of source and destination but not of the router that it is passed to. Means it can deliver the message to the sender because the datagram have the sender and destination address. Then the next layer is transport layer. The transport layer is responsible for the reliability, flow control and correction of data which is being sent over the network. The two protocol used in this layer is UDP, that is user datagram protocol, and transmission control protocol, means TCP. In transport layer, it uses UDP and TCP. The transmission control protocol TCP, it is known to provide reliable and error-free communication between end system. It performs the sequencing and segmentation of data. It also has acknowledgement features and controls the flow of the data through flow control mechanism. It is very effective protocol but has a lot of overhead due to such features. Increased overhead leads to increased cost. Means it can control the flow. This TCP protocol can control the flow. It sequence and segment the data, and after receiving it also send the acknowledgement to the sender. So it is very effective protocol, but it has a lots of overhead. So this it is expensive. Then UDP, on the other hand, it doesn't provide any such features. It is the go-to protocol. If your application doesn't require reliable transport, as it is very cost effective, unlike TCP, which is connection orient protocol, and UDP is connection less. Okay. So if you want to, if your transmission doesn't require reliable, then we can use UDP protocol. TCP is connection oriented and UDP is connectionless. Then the upper layer, that is application layer. An application layer is the topmost layer in the TCP/IP model. It is responsible for handling high-level protocol issues of representation. This layer allows the user to interact with application. Means in this layer, the user interact with the application. When an application layer protocol want to communicate with another application layer, it forward its data to transport layer. Okay. There is an ambiguity occur in the application layer. Each application cannot be placed inside the application layer except those who interact with the communication system. For example, text editor cannot be considered as in application layer, while the web browser, that HTTP protocol to interact with network, where HTTP protocol is an application layer protocol. Means the in application layer we put only those protocol which can communicate with the internet. So HTTP protocol is a application layer, and there are many protocol like HTTP, SNMP, SMTP, DNS, Telnet and FTP. Okay. So these are some example of protocol used in application layer of TCP/IP. First one is HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transport Protocol. This protocol allows us to access the data over the World Wide Web. And SNMP stands for Simple Network Management Protocol. It is a framework used for managing the device on the internet by using TCP/IP protocol suite. Then SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. The TCP/IP protocol that support the email is known as Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This protocol is used to send the data to another email address. DNS stands for Domain Name System, and IP addressing is used to identify the connection of a host to the internet uniquely. But people prefer to use name instead of address. Therefore, the system that maps the name to the address is known as domain name system. The telnet means terminal network. It establishes the connection between the local computer to the remote computer in such a way that local terminal appear to be the terminal at the remote site. Then FTP, File Transfer Protocol. FTP is a standard internet protocol used for transmitting the files from one computer to another computer. So these are some protocol used in application layer of TCP/IP. So these are the functions of the layer of TCP/IP and the protocol used in TCP/IP. Okay. So now let us discuss about the difference between the OSI and TCP/IP model. The first difference is OSI has 7 layers, whereas TCP/IP has 4 layers. OSI model actually it is a conceptual model that defines the network communication used by the system open to interconnection and communication with other systems. And on the other hand, TCP/IP help you to determine how a specific computer should be connected to the internet and how can you transmit it between them. Means OSI is a reference model, okay, and TCP/IP is an implemented model. OSI header is 5 bytes, whereas TCP/IP header size is 20 bytes. OSI refers to Open System Interconnection and TCP/IP is Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. OSI model, the transport layer is only connection oriented, whereas TCP/IP model is both connection oriented and connectionless. Okay. OSI model is developed by ISO, International Standard Organization, and whereas TCP/IP model is developed by ARPANET. OSI model help you to standardize router, switch, motherboard and other hardware, whereas TCP/IP help you to establish connection between different type of computers. So these are some difference between OSI model and TCP/IP models. Thank you.